Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. For the Autumn of Agony, week number 2, we got this Prowler boss here, and I'm going to walk you through how I completed all 3 objectives. Let's first take a look at some of the nodes and talk those through. First node is called Powerless, says that you cannot use a champion who is immune to power drain, or you will instantly lose 30% of your health. Second node, when your power is drained either by him or by one of the other nodes, you're going to lose 1% of your health per 3.3% of the power lost. Now, I was concerned about this node going in. I thought the damage would add up quickly, but truth be told, it is very manageable. And most rank 3 and even rank 2 7-star attackers should be able to tank some of this damage and still be able to get through the fight. And you'll see that happen, I think, in all 3 of these fights that I'm going to show you here. Third node is called On the Prowl. Whenever you gain a bar of power, you're going to be special locked for 1 second. In practice, this is really just like fighting a Nimrod, so you can't use your special attacks right away. You kind of have to pause and then either bait out a heavy or try and like sidestep into your special attack after that. He also has a node where if you parry too many times, you're going to trigger a falter, and that's in addition to the falter that he can put on you when you try and punish his specials. So any kind of miss counter here is going to be really, really valuable. Now he also has a node where he gains an indestructible every 30 seconds unless you refresh the timer by using a special attack. And the second part of this node says that if you use the same special attack twice in a row, he's going to gain that indestructible effect immediately. So you do need to alternate your specials in this fight, just like it would be with a Hurt Locker node. Otherwise, you're going to be doing no damage. Also has Plagued Mind, so your power is going to be fully drained every 30 seconds. And again, if you have a lot of power when that node triggers, you're going to be triggering the damage back from Power Extortion. So it's really important that you manage your power levels appropriately. Now they do give you a way to safely remove your own power, and it's a node called Energy Convert. If you charge your heavy, you're going to remove all of your power, and then for each full bar removed, you're going to be gaining a Fury passive for 18 seconds. So you can play into that a little bit, or you can just kind of tank the damage back. I didn't really care too much about the Fury passive. I didn't really utilize the heavy power removal too much in any of these fights. And then the last node called Quick Spark, you want to keep the tempo of the fight going, otherwise you're going to get an Incinerate debuff on you. Now the first objective here, as you see, is for a metal and size small champ. Ironheart, in my opinion, one of the best options here because she has such a good miss counter. You want to make sure with her that you go in with the Rupture pre-fight because Prowler is immune to Incinerate, and then you want to do your best to keep 5 or more of those Ruptures active at all times. That'll give you that tracking passive, and that'll give you your full miss counter. It'll also allow you to safely parry his non-contact attacks, so you can get easy openings that way. Alternate your special attacks, again, in line with the node. And other than that, it's really, really easy to keep tempo in this fight. But if he turtles up, you're immune to Incinerate, so you don't really need to worry about that. You can heavy counter his specials if you want to safely remove your power. As you can see, I don't really pay too much attention to the power removal and that damage back in this fight. You know, Ironheart is a rank 3 7-star for me, and she's lost about half her health just from that power drain, but I never really felt like I was in danger of like actually dying from that damage. So if you choose to just ignore the power drain damage, use your special attacks as close to the bar of power as you can, and you'll be totally fine. And I think this special 2 actually ends up finishing him off. Really, really easy fight with Ironheart. Alright, next up, let's talk through the Avengers size medium objective. I went with Photon here. There are a couple of other really good options as well. Now with Photon, the benefit of using her is that by default, her medium attacks cannot miss. So you can safely punish Prowler's special attacks. However, the falter that he places on you is too long for you to continue a combo. So it's really good just for keeping up tempo, preventing that Incinerate debuff from triggering on you. So punish his specials with either 1 or 2 mediums. Once you get to Pure Light form, you cannot miss at all. So when you do trigger Pure Light form, like I accidentally just did there by getting knocked down, you want to be as aggressive as possible. Go for intercepts, use your striker, bait out specials, and punish them in order to keep those charges paused. And that is your damage phase. Stay in Pure Light form for as long as possible. Hopefully you've gotten up to the maximum of 25 charges before you've triggered it, so you have 5 Furies instead of the 3 that I'm using here. Now, since you need to be alternating your special attacks, I would recommend starting with the special one. So you can't really optimally ramp Photon in this fight like you would in like a Battlegrounds or a war fight. but you'll get there eventually, and trust that when you get to pure light form, the damage that you're going to be dealing is going to be totally worth it. Also remember that after her special 2 in pure light form, she becomes untouchable, so you can use that to close the distance, maybe cause a few of his basic attacks to hit, maybe get an opening that way, or you can cause part of his special attack to miss as well and maintain proximity to him. Notice how the suppressions that you're placing with your light attacks are going to be reducing the number of specials that he's going to throw because it takes longer for him to get to that bar of power. That just enables you to get more damage in before baiting out a special attack. Now, another thing you might consider with Photon specifically is turning on the Resonate Mastery, because remember, Photon ramps on any debuff that she places on the defender. So if you have the Resonate Mastery, you're placing those weaknesses from it, you're going to be ramping up your pure light charges a lot faster than you would normally here. Now right here, I've kind of hit the optimum ramp up point. We've triggered pure light form at the maximum charges here, and then we trigger the untouchable. He tosses his special 2 into it. I can maintain proximity, punish it because I can't miss. We've got the maximum 5 Furies. We did trigger an Incinerate debuff on us here, but she has really strong energy resistance, so you can see we weren't really taking that much damage from it. And you're able to see here just how hard Photon hits with those 5 Furies, 20k medium crits, so much extra red damage from those overload debuffs, and it's just kind of maintain pure light form for as long as you can. Other good options for this fight, if you don't have a Photon ranked up, you can use Quicksilver, who can't miss above a certain amount of momentum, or Sam Wilson also has a really good miss counter damage, not as good as Quicksilver and Photon though. Alright, the third and final objective here is a Cosmic-sized medium, and really the only option I had here was Adam Warlock, who honestly is not a champion that I enjoy using, mostly because I hate when his taunt works, it works great, but when it doesn't work, it feels really bad here. So I am not a very strong Adam Warlock player, so shout out to my guy Bitter Steel, who is one of the best Adam Warlock players I have ever seen. So apologies if my gameplay doesn't really meet the high standard that he has set here. So this took me a few attempts with Adam, and I think the best advice I would be able to provide to somebody going into this fight with him is that don't be so focused on trying to maintain that unblockable and the true damage buff, because you are still susceptible to the falter with Prowler's special attacks, so it's going to be really difficult for you to maintain tempo with him unless he does something like that where he tosses a heavy attack like right after a special attack and gives you an easy opening with which to keep those buffs active. Now that being said, if you do manage to get like one of Adam's big Furies up, he hits really hard and makes the fight like really fast. I think this is the fastest of the 3 fights. And by the way, I think I am medium boosted for all 3 of these fights, just in the interest of time, which I've talked about before. Now you can panic launch the special 1 into their block because it will be unblockable and trigger a stun. That is a tip that I picked up from the aforementioned Bitter Steel. So I'm learning, I'm getting a little bit better with Adam, but I'm just nowhere near how good some of these other folks are with him. Now, Adam isn't straight up immune to the power drain, so you're going to see we're going to take a big chunk of damage there. However, he does gain an energized passive when his power is drained, and that's going to enable him to get up to another special attack much more quickly. So you aren't susceptible to like the instant 30% damage, but you do have a little bit of time to recover while using that energized passive here. And again, alternate your special attacks. You're going to be hitting so hard when you get 2 of these Furies up, as you can see. Even his non-crits are doing a ton of damage. Nice 23k crit in that special 1 there. And we're trying to bait out this special attack, and I think pretty much one more combo and then a striker is pretty much going to do it here. So hopefully this guide helped you. Let me know in the comments below who you ended up using for these 3 objectives. Share it with your friends, share it with your alliance, and as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.